What's up, guys? This is Gabe from SNP Speed Innovations, and today we're going to be installing or completing the installation of this Motion Raceworks shifter for this Powerglide transmission that we installed into a 95 Tacoma. As you can see there, we got the shift cable and all the bracketry and everything, so let's get to installing this thing. We've got the components out of the box. This goes on the transmission, and this is the bracketry that they give you. You went on ahead and kind of bolted it up just to see what it looks like. And that's just gonna go right up there like that. See, the cable is gonna come to here. We're gonna change this out so we can hook the cable up. It was kind of rubbing a little bit. So what we're going to do is we're just going to round this corner off a little bit here on the belt sander. Just give a little extra clearance. This way if something moves in the transmission and the body, it doesn't get into a situation where he's trying to shift it into a gear and it's stuck. So we'll just shave this down just a little bit, not much. Plenty of clearance now. You see all the light behind it. All the clearance it needs. Perfect. So now that we got this whole thing apart, run this through here, something like that. Run that through. You had to take the boot here and push it forward to get it off the main part of that flange. It'd be kind of tricky because of that boot, but we do want that boot on there, so we don't want to take it off. Throw that on there for now. Go ahead and get the boot to seal back over the flange area, so this way it seals inside the cable, keeps the moisture out of it. Now the instructions call for C. So before we put our pin in, put this nut back on, I had to take this off. Just go all the way to the end there. I'm going to take this piece here, thread this piece on, get it on a full rotation or two. For the instructions, it says to go to C. We're going to do that. Now, we are going to test fit and see how this works. We're not going to bend the cotter pin because once we get the shifter installed, we're going to check the detent and make sure everything is detenting correctly. If not, we'll take the cable that came off of it and we'll use that, and we'll select the perfect hole for the throw ratio in the shifter up there. But for now, we're going to go off the instructions. We're going to use this. We'll leave it like that. We'll leave our last minute adjustments here on the adjustment lockdown nut on the back side. We'll leave that loose because we don't know. We may have to thread this in or out once we get the cable in there. On that note, we're just going to let it hang for now. We know where everything is. It gives us room to get the rest of the shifter installed into the Motion Raceworks shifter there. Let's go ahead and figure out where we're going to drill a hole. Took a measurement. We did 12 inches behind that rear bolt. The plan is to bring it right about here, right where the drive shaft is. The wheels are down, the suspension is sagging, and as the truck rests on its weight, this is going to go up. So we need to make sure that we have plenty of room and that the drive shaft doesn't hit the cable. The cables on these things are always super, super long. And I get it, they do that so they have a long sweep, no sharp bends, and it doesn't make the shifter real tight, but I think some of these are a little too long sometimes. We'll get that in there. So essentially at the back of the shifter, 6 inches is where it goes in to the back of the shifter housing. If we do this 12 inches back, then it's got enough room to kind of come in, lay over, so the hole actually needs to be more of an oval shape. If it's more of an oval shaped, then we can kind of bring this around and lay it kind of flat so it's not going straight up like this and trying to make a bend. We can lay the cable like this and shoot it into the back of the shifter. So that's the plan. I thought about trying to offset the cable over here, but it does make this side a little bit tighter of a bend. And we also have the seat we got to consider. if we can bring the seat. Plus, what we see is a high spot here is actually a low spot in there, and that brings the shifter up, shifter cable coming into the cabin area at a higher elevation than the spot here. So there's pros and cons to both. I don't want it to come out too crooked. If our center line of the shifter, the center line of the shifter is right about here, we bring the cable in off to the side, it's always coming in crooked. That could make a binding issue happen. So that's 12 inches from here to here, so 6 would be right about there. It's about halfway roughly. So that should give us enough room there to mount it like this, something close to that. I think that's gonna work out pretty good. Let's drill some holes and see what happens. All right, X marks the spot. We're about 12 inches behind. We're going to take a drill bit and then we're going to try to see if we can elongate it. And I'll probably just grab my grinder and I'll probably just grind it as a slot, as an oval type of deal. What we're going to want, kind of a shape like this, something like that. This way the cable come in at an angle like this and lay down a little bit. It gives it a better entry point here, and plus it's not going straight down trying to hit the drive shaft. So if we can get it to go loop around, come something like this, we're on the back side and shoot in like that, and away we go. All right, so I'm gonna raise this up in the air again. What we did is we took some measurements down below, took some measurements up above, kind of make sure that we have enough room for the cable. Cable's kind of long, so we have to loop it quite a bit. We also have drive shaft we have to consider as well. Got to make that hole just a little bit bigger. These through. Cable ran, we'll come back and do a clamp right here. And by looking at this angle, it's looking pretty flat. And I should be plenty out of the way for the drive shaft. It is a big hole. I have an idea of what we're going to do to seal up the holes. Just this way we keep exhaust fumes and stuff like that out of here. But the important thing is making sure that this cable is as flat as possible. Pretty happy with that. What we're going to do is we have Nathan inside the truck up there. And what we're going to do is we're going to adjust the shifter cable. Now, this is extremely important with any type of aftermarket deal. We want to make sure that the detents are correct and that we're not half in or half out of a gear. So it's going to be pretty important to make sure that we can get there. So we have a couple of adjustments here. We're going to have the cable, and then we're going to have the end here. And the whole point of this is to make sure that we can get in and out of park, reverse, neutral, second and first gear, and make sure that we can do that as he goes in and out of each gear, that the detent is actually perfectly synchronized. So that's what we're doing here. So Nathan's up there in the shifter. We got one camera there. We got one camera here. We'll do a split screen deal here in a second, and we'll get right to it. Are you in park right now?
Yeah.
All right, very good. So we've got this. So you can see we kind of put our adjustment to the end of the threads here. We're a little short for the hole, but that's okay. Now we're in there pretty evenly. Nice and smooth, that's what we're looking for. No binding at all. Okay, we're gonna hold it here while Nathan puts it in next gear. Okay, reverse please.
Reverse?
That's reversed. Is that reverse?
Yeah, that's reverse.
Okay. And we can see it's binding a little bit. So make a small adjustment. Okay, right there. Okay, neutral.
That's neutral.
That's neutral. So that slides in and out. Pretty good. Okay, second gear.
Second.
Okay, it slides in pretty good. First gear.
First gear.
Okay, that works pretty good. Okay, second.
Second.
Yeah, we're good there. Okay, neutral.
Neutral.
Reverse.
Reverse.
And park.
Park.
Okay, perfect. So this works really, really well. Mike from Mike's Transmissions taught me some valuable lessons about how important this is with how the transmission works. This is extremely important. So usually with most of the plates that we get, the plates have a ton of holes in them, and those holes have a bunch of different spots in them, and you adjust this cable in each of those holes until you get a nice smooth pattern like what we did. And again, we want to make sure that this slides in and out without any type of restriction on it at all, no binding in each gear selection. So are we in park right now?
Yes.
Okay, we'll do it one more time just to make sure everything's happy. So go into reverse.
Reverse.
Neutral.
Neutral.
Second gear.
Second.
First gear.
First.
Okay, now go back into second.
Second.
Neutral.
Neutral.
Reverse.
Reverse.
And park.
Park.
There we go. Super easy, super smooth. That's very important that these things are set up that way. I've worked in on race cars where something was up with the shifter or something, and the way that they had it set up is as long as it was correct in first and second gear, and that was what was important. Sometimes it didn't go into park all the way, but it's a race car. Sometimes that's all that's important at the racetrack. So that's it, pretty simple. If you need a fine-tune adjustment here, if you're half in and out of the hole, or if you do one full rotation on your pin here, and it's either pulling it one way or another rotation takes it the other way, you can make a fine-tune adjustment here by loosening these up, moving them a half or a flat at a time, and that would fine-tune this area here. Now that we know where this is going to be, I'll grab the wrench and everything that we need so we can lock down the jam nut on the inside, and then I'll pull the pin, pull it back, lock the jam nut, slide it back in there. As long as we don't have a full rotation, our distance will always be the same, and then I'll spread this apart and we'll be good to go. So that's it, pretty simple. That concludes this video. So pretty simple install. It's not too hard as long as you know which way you got to route everything. As you can see, I kind of brought the cable outwards this way to try to keep it away from the drive shaft. Hung it up and above the gas tank here. I'll do an Adele clamp and a nut or a P-clamp, and we'll secure this so it's not chafing on anything. And then right here, we brought it through the firewall there, or through the floor. So I am going to take some, I have an idea about some stuff we can get to seal it from the inside up there. The most important thing is making sure this drive shaft is not rubbing on it at all. That's going to be the most important thing. So with the angle that we have, we should not have any problems at all. Anyway, so that concludes this video, guys. Don't forget to do all that stalker stuff. Subscribe, like, ring the bell, all that cool stuff. That's super important. If you like this video, please drop something in the comments telling us if you like the video. Good information. If there's more information you need, please let us know. If there's something that you think that we should post or do a video on, please let us know as well. We try to send out as much good information out there as possible. So again, ring the bell, like, follow, subscribe, all that cool stuff. And more importantly, have a great day. Thank you guys very much. Appreciate you guys watching this video.